Since the mid-1980s, when gamers, kids, teenagers, and adults alike have all been blowing dust out of their NES cartridges, competition in gaming has been fierce. What started in 1990 with the Nintendo World Championships, where gamers competed for a trophy and $250, has now blossomed into a juggernaut with thousands of competitors, millions of viewers, and millions of dollars in prize money. Esports is here to stay, and today on the Boss Battle Show, we're going to take you through what's good and what could be bad about our future with gaming with esports on the horizon.
This is Sparta!
Hey there, gamers! Timmy TJ Combo. I'm Adam Ronan.
Right there. There he is, everybody. Found him.
The one and only.
Yep.
What are we talking about today, Tim?
Esports. You saw it in the intro, and it's growing. It's growing incredibly fast.
It's a thing. It's a thing, and we want to talk to you about what that maybe means for gaming as a whole.
Totally. Well, the gamers themselves haven't changed, and getting together and competing hasn't changed, but the national attention is starting to change.
National attention and the prize pots.
Now are getting bigger and bigger.
People can make a living now from playing games as their hobby.
Mm-hmm. Right, and any one of these guys, these aren't just like 13-year-old kids who sit at home, they play for 10 minutes, before they go to bed or whatever. These are teams of people that are spending, 8 to 10 hours a day. They go to work, they punch a clock just like, anybody else in the world does. So they're actually putting in the time and the effort to become the best at it and get to the point where no casual person could beat them if they wanted to.
If you think about somebody who plays on the Broncos, a pro sports player, somebody that's respected as an athlete.
An athlete. Yep.
They put in countless hours a week training.
Right.
It could be a point that could be made into an argument that, a gamer who has infinite time at his disposal, you don't have to go to a field to train. You turn on your system and you play.
Right.
And you train. So they could be putting in hundreds of hours a week.
Right. And one of the things we see, if you watch ESPN, they'll do sports science. So they'll take an athlete and they'll break down some of the things that actually puts them at the level they're at. And a lot of times it comes down to their reaction time and their vision and the way that they see things. That's going to be the exact same thing with a gamer. That's what's going to separate them from any other casual player of a video game. They see things quicker, they react faster, and that's going to put them at a higher level, aka an athlete, somebody who has to train to get to that, keep those senses sharp to always stay at a high, competitive level, because now they're playing for money.
Now they're playing for money, and they're playing for money, and they're playing for their careers, which is now on the line now. So not only is it that, but it's respect, it's fame, it's
exactly
self-satisfaction.
And they have to count on sponsors and stuff because they're actually earning their salary. Unlike, say, for example, a professional athlete who's going to sign a contract, he's going to get a portion of that money guaranteed. These guys are not going to do that. They're living off of prize pot to prize pot and sponsor money to keep going on to the next event because it's not cheap to make the journey from your home to, say, Las Vegas for EVO, or if you were going to, California for a tournament, or New York, wherever it may be.
Right. And so we are pretty in love with the fighting genre. ESL has now become a pretty strong force in the esports community for fighting games. And what has just happened in this last week is ESPN just launched on their website a specific esports.
So now that we've got a drop down for esports for ESPN, just like you have for any other sport, football, basketball.
If you think about it, that's huge. That's a huge step forward for gamers to be recognized as respectable athletes in their field.
Basically, they tested the waters by airing a few different tournaments, mostly MOBA, but at that point, you can kind of see what the response was and if there is any demand for it. And now that there is, not only do we have a drop down on ESPN, but also they announced that they've got 3 specific analysts and broadcasters who are assigned to that as their main job. So now, not only are gamers making a career out of this, but also journalists are making a career out of this as well, covering it the same way that you would being a sideline sportscaster or whatever.
Yep. So on ESPN.com in their drop-down, they'll have original reporting. They're going to have profiles on top players in the esports community. They're going to have commentators. you know, esports has been around for a long time with like Dota and Heroes of the Storm being huge draws. For example, like tickets to the League of Legends tournament, which I think this was last year. The tickets for that was held in Berlin, that sold out in 3 minutes.
Which is mind-blowing.
In the US, it sold out in under an hour, and then people that tuned in online had over 14 million viewers. You can't deny that level of magnitude and power for...
Well, anything on TV, any kind of sitcom, any kind of sporting event, anything that you could possibly put out in air, if it's going to bring in that many viewers, I mean, that would be considered a victory. So to get 14 million viewers, somebody's going to say, you know what, we should have commercials, we should have sponsorship, we should be making money off of what you guys are already doing.
Yep.
Which is just gathering and playing video games.
Yeah, most certainly. But when they announced the ESPN thing, you had some particular concerns of what that could mean for the gaming community.
Now, this community was built by basically us. It was us getting together. It was us using our own money to go from event to event. It's us putting our patches or whatever coding we can possibly put into programs like Twitch to make these things work so that we can share our experience with each other. Now we're competing with some gigantic budgets, and ESPN is under the Disney money. So we're talking the biggest.
Got that Star Wars money.
You know, Xbox does their own thing, ESL has their own deal going on. There's a lot of prize money that goes into that, but there might be some fallout on this, and I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but there could be some lower level things that get chopped off. They're gonna lose that competition when it's like, I can turn on my beautiful 4K TV and my lazy boy, and I can sit back and I can watch this event, or am I gonna go to my iPad, you know, and sit and watch, you know, Joe Blow's broadcast of this. That guy's not going to win that battle.
You also have to wonder how it will affect Twitch and different and Hitbox and those different streaming services, because they host tournament day after day after day. There's huge prize money. There's tournaments happening all the time. With ESPN getting involved, what could that mean for, you know, some of the lower level like streaming services and higher level streaming services? Because Twitch is a monster, but it's no Disney monster. So
nothing is a Disney monster.
No,
it's impossible to compete with them. So it's definitely something that we need to make sure obviously doesn't take over what we've built as a community of gamers. So
but what I guess my point is that I like to see is ESPN, and the president of ESPN was vastly against esports as a viable sporting event. Now you can't help but notice, and that's what's happening. In 5 years' time, who knows what will be happening in esports? That could be something. So, like, you know, football owns Monday night, but you know, you don't.
Wednesday night battles or something.
Wednesday night battles, Wednesday night tournaments. You know, that
Boss
could be
Battle Fridays.
What's up? What's up? Just saying.
You know, if anybody wants it, it's here. Come get it. Sign it up. But it proves a great point. I mean, obviously, we're all taking a step into the future. We don't know what it's going to bring, but it's giving us a new way to watch, to follow. And now there's even apps that I noticed that came out shortly after the ESPN announcement, where much like you can follow your favorite sports team and then get push notifications, you can do the same thing with esports events now. So you can see that, like, you know, this team won in Halo or whatever it may be, which is really cool, because when you start to follow those teams, you become invested in it, and you also have the capability that you might be able to compete against them, unlike actual sports, where we're not going to have the ability to walk onto the field in the NFL and start playing any day soon.
No, well, maybe not you, but
yeah, well, I mean, probably could.
I got that quarterback shit going on. And, you know, but if you think about, like, the world, the Halo World Championships are happening now, and going to be happening next couple months. That's millions of dollars of prize money. That's $2 million, I think, is the pot that's up to right now. Like, this is no joke. Like, guys, esports is big, and it's here to stay, and it's only growing day by day.
No, absolutely, yeah. And if you guys have any feedback on it, or if you think there's any other concerns that come with these big, you know, mega companies jumping in on it, let us know what you think, because I'm very curious to know what the fallout will be as well.
Absolutely, and I'd like to also hear, what are you going to be taking part in now that esports is making a huge stride into the mainstream? Are you going to be on board, and are you going to compete? Because if so, we're here to support you in any way possible.
Absolutely, and keep in touch with us right there.
Twitters. And
later videos, you're going to want to know, keep up on things as we're reporting them.
Well, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Cool. Thanks, guys.